Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. I've got a pretty pouch today. This is the using You're a Peach suite, except I'm not using any peaches on mine. I'm just using the pretty flowers, and it snaps closed with a magnet. If you are gifting this to somebody who shouldn't be anywhere near magnets, a ribbon will close it. You could poke a ribbon hole through it, you could use a Velcro button, you could just string ribbon round it, something like that. I just like magnets. So I'm going to show you how to make it, and it closes and opens. You can either open it at the bottom like that, or as I've just shown you, at the top like that. So you could do a permanent seal at the top if you really wanted to. You could almost glue it shut. But I'm going to show you how to make it. So you need a piece of cardstock that is 6 by 11. This one I went with pale papaya. I'm going to go with Calypso Coral. So 6 by 11 inches, 28 by 15 centimetres. And I'm going to score it on the long side first at 1 inch, 5 1/4, 6 1/4, and 10 1/2, and that's all in inches. In metric, it's 2 1/2, 13 1/2, 16 and 27. Still on the long side, we're going to do some part scoring. So that's at 1/2 inch, and you're just going to score it down to about the 4-inch mark, and the same at the 5 3/4 mark, also down to about the 4-inch mark. So in metric, your part scoring at 1 1/4 and 14 3/4 down to about 10 centimetres, and you need to turn it so that this unscored part is to the left, and on the short side score it at 1/2 inch, 1 1/2, 4 1/2, and 4 3/4. And again in metric, that's 1 centimetre, 3 1/2, 16 and 27. Let me move that out of the way and burnish everything. So everything's written on my blog, so do click open the description bar. If you're here on YouTube, click open the description bar and you will go straight to my project. Oh, you can tell I don't use Calypso Coral very often. Apparently I've got a faded sheet. Oh well, that's the bottom. I couldn't tell you the last time I used Calypso Coral cardstock. Years, possibly. Okay, so ignore the part score marks and just fold the full scores. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, hopefully you can see this better. So my part score has gone to there, and I'm going to do a line from there to there and there to there, and the same over here. And it's sort of it's kind of a triangle, and it will just help with the close of the box, purse, pouch, whatever you want to call it. So hopefully you can see that. So that's just all I've done. Okay, so looking at it this way, this is going to be the back and the side of my box, and I want my flap to come over from the back to the front, which means it's this one here closest to that thin edge. So with my scissors, I'm taking from the bottom score line up, and the same here, I'm going down to that second score line, and then because I'm very brave, I'm going to cut all of that in a straight line, so that when I come to close the box, as I said, that will be the back, and that's going to fall forwards. So all I need to do then, I also need to remove that bit, and I'm just going to mitre that a tiny bit. Okay, and you can see when I've got it flattened, this bit is over here, and I want to keep all of this bottom panel here. In fact, I'm going to keep all of that for now. So I'm going to take that away. mitering into that square. Okay, I'm going to cut straight on the rectangle, miter a tiny bit in, take that bit off, and the same here. And when I've cut it, I will stop and show you all of it. Okay, so that's the top. That's this bit here. It's going to fold over and snap shut. And this is the bottom that's going to curl in. So I want to do some corner rounding first. So I'm going to take my detailed trio punch. And that top corner. And that top corner. And this one here and here as well. That one there. And that one there. So they are all done. Now before I start putting it together, I've got my designer series paper, which they both measure 4 inches wide. This one is 4 by 1 inch, which in metric is 10.5 by 3 centimeters, and this one is 4 by 1 5/8 of an inch, which is 10.5 by 3.5. This one needs its corners rounding too, because it's going to sit along there. That's going to sit on there, but this one doesn't. So I grab my seal. Oh, and apparently a dimensional backing. Oh well. And then line that up on there. This one you need to have it sit towards the bottom, because as you can clearly see it's not big enough, but it needs to sit towards the bottom, just like that. And then you just need 1 panel of adhesive there. Fold it over, fold it round, fold these in, and because I created my nice little bit, that's going to tuck in, and these are our part scores. When you push, it's going to go in. You've got a tiny little gusset at the top and a perfect equidistant gap all the way down. So, as I said, how you close it is entirely up to you. You could use Velcro buttons, you could even put glue on there. And if you were going to make this a permanent seal, you would maybe put a thumb hole there so somebody would know to open it that way. Or you could use neodymium magnets, which is what I like to use. I've got all of them detailed on my blog, but they are super strong. And oh, there you go. That's just demonstrated perfectly. These are 8mm by 1mm. Anything less than that, and you risk snapping. And that one's actually just snapped. Look at that. It's still trying to... Is it going to move under my hand? Yes, it's moving. That's how strong they are. But any less than 1mm, no good. Okay. So, keep them separated. And I'm going to take a mini glue dot on the back of one, and in the middle at the top, oh, I need my little 1/2 inch circle punch, and one of the bits of leftover cut. Oh, that one ran away. This is one of the bits that I cut off before. And the reason I use these is partly to disguise them, but also because the magnets are so strong, they would rip any adhesive off that you had got in place. So I've put that one onto there so I know that my positives and negatives are the right way round. I'm going to line that up and just press. And that's left my magnet behind, so I'm going to press firmly again. Get another mini glue dot over the top. And again, press really firmly. And that is going to stay shut, and it's not going to open, but it's strong enough to keep it shut, but not so strong that if you opened it you're going to rip everything off. Okay, Now, a little bit of stamping. So I've got a strip of Whisper White. I've got the Sweet as a Peach stamp set, and the matching dies. You get a little cluster of 3 flowers to match this one. I'm going to do my own hybrid technique. I'm sure there probably is an official technique for this, but my little hybrid technique is going to work. So I'm taking, I've got my pale papaya ink, and I'm going to ink up my stamps. And then I've got my Calypso Coral marker, and I'm thumping it. I think that's what the technique is called. Just tapping it all over the sideways. And I highly doubt you're going to see, but there's a colour difference there. And when I stamp it down, you can see the different colours have come out. And I want my teeny, tiny, tiny, super tiny little bit in the middle. And some black. And just in the centre of those 3 flowers. I've got my mini cut and emboss. There we go, there's the plate I want. You know what, if I do this down here, I'm less likely to wibble it. So I'm going to lay that on there. And I'm going to use some mini post-it notes to hold everything in place. Oh, it doesn't want to stay in place. There we go. Ish. It'll do. Over the top, send the whole lot through, and that's done all 3 of my flowers in one go. Where's that gone? There it is. Don't want to lose that because that's tiny. And then I'm going to get one of the sentiments. So we've got thanks so much, happy birthday. I think I'll take thanks so much again. Or shall I take let's celebrate you? Which one's that one? That one. Oh, that block's a bit big. That's a better size. So what sort of size are we looking at? Ooh, 1/2 inch by 2 inches. And I want some Calypso Coral ink, and I don't know where that's gone, so I will use the side of my Stampin' Right marker because I can. Onto there, off to the left hand side. Look at that, and then there it is. That's probably going to be way too small. It is, but I'm going to send it through and hold it in place with my finger, but just turn it round to double check. No, that's too small, isn't it? Now I can start putting it all on. So I'm going to use some dimensional edges for this one. Actually, I've got the half ones that I chopped in from a previous video still on here. It's a bit brutal with the scissors. my 3 flowers. And just start adding them around. That is a very pretty peach pouch, but no peaches included. What do you think? I hope you like it. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.